Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. So today's video is going to be a little bit of an update from the 5 new and upcoming monster taming games you never knew that I put out yesterday as of the time this video is going live. And specifically, we're going to be talking about this game, Portal Fantasy, which was one of the games present on the list itself and was a game I am, just by looking at it, looked amazing. There are a couple of things to note, and this was brought to my attention and I'm just going to play some of this for you so you can see what game I'm talking about. This was brought to my attention by one of you guys in the Discord server. I don't want to name them just in case. I didn't ask them if they were okay with being named, so I won't. But yeah, so this was the game. You know, I think it looks pretty cool, right? I was pretty interested in it. It seemed like it was going to be right up my alley. Unfortunately, it does look like this game is in part an NFT project. Now, when I say in part, it's because it's on Steam, right? So when I find games that have Steam pages and I make showcase videos or, you know, list videos about them, I'm under the assumption that they're not NFT games because NFTs aren't allowed on Steam. But how a lot of NFT developers have been getting around this is by having 2 versions of their game. So technically speaking, the version of Portal Fantasy that I showed you guys on my video is NFT free. However, I'm not really happy with that, because I feel like this is something that should be a lot more prominent, because as you know, with titles like Untamed Isles, Chain Monsters, etc., these games were going to have 2 versions, but the games are still fueled by NFTs. If NFTs didn't need to be part of the game and they were just 2 separate versions, why even have the NFT version if it's not for the monetary gain, which will affect how the actual game is made? I personally don't want to get into all of the politics and all of the NFT debate. I just don't like covering NFT games personally because I've had a bad experience with a lot of them. All of the developers say the same stuff. Oh, just wait until my game comes out. We're the 1%. I'm tired of hearing stuff like that. Now, one thing I do want to mention, because while this was something I missed, the person in the Discord that brought this to my attention, most of what they found were non-statements from the developers. So just like news from random articles, or like from random news journalists and articles and stuff about this new play-to-earn game. But I was looking for something that was from the mouths of the developers before I were to actually talk about this. So it is in fact going to be the case, what I just mentioned. My buddy Barry actually joined their Discord server and asked himself, and that's the only way we were able to find any sort of official confirmation, because if you go to their website, right, which looks cool, again, this game looks cool, and I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. It's not my business what you decide to do, what games you want to play. I'm not going to try to sit here and tell you that I'm this moral being for not wanting to participate. Honestly, it's not a moral thing for me even. It's just the game seemed to always have problems, so I don't want to deal with the entire baggage that is NFTs. I don't really care personally. But the site doesn't mention NFTs, doesn't mention blockchain, nothing like that anywhere. Okay? So none of this mentions it. If you go to the YouTube description, none of this mentions NFTs, okay? I shouldn't have to do 3 hours of research on every single game that's on a platform that isn't NFT based and does not allow NFTs to make sure there aren't NFTs in them. I don't like this sort of practice that a lot of these games are doing, where they're basically just having NFTs and allowing like the NFT community to sort of know what's going on. But on the front page PR, they're kind of just hiding it because they know NFTs are controversial and people don't want to cover it. So I'm not a big fan of that. It's kind of like a have your cake and eat it too type thing. They want this NFT support, but they also want the support of actual gamers. So instead of having that level of transparency, they know that NFTs are an immediate no-no for a lot of people. For good reason, by the way. Like, again, I don't really care about what your opinions are about the technology itself, whether or not it's bad for the environment, all of that stuff. I don't care. I'm just looking at this like a gamer right now. I don't want NFTs in my games because number one, I feel like it sets like a bad precedent. But number two, It's just every NFT game goes to shit, and every developer says they're the 1%. Untamed were the 1%. Chain Monsters were the 1%. Final Stardust is going to be the 1%. I'm tired of hearing that, because none of these games are the 1%, because there is no 1%. I'm still waiting to see these great NFT games that are totally not just focused on NFTs, with the games being like a side aspect of it. Now, again, I'm not trying to throw Portal Fantasy under the bus or anything like that, but I did feel like this is something that I should mention to you guys, because I like to have transparency on my channel. You guys know that I'm not cool with promoting NFT games. The game's gonna have 2 versions. If you want to try to play the Steam version and enjoy it, and if it ends up being good, that's great. I'm personally not really interested in the game because of that aspect, at least as a content creator, to say the least. I want to stay as far away from anything NFT related, just because I don't see the benefit to having it, and all it does is bring negatives. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Again, I'm sorry that I didn't catch this. It took us diving through their website, their YouTube channel, their Twitter. We had to literally go to the Discord to actually find out if this was an NFT game or not. Like, when I'm covering multiple games and putting out videos every single day, I don't have 20 hours to set aside researching every game to death. I should be able to go to your Steam page, know exactly what your game's about, check out the trailer, look a little bit on Twitter, and I should be good to go. I shouldn't have to, go into private investigator mode just to see whether or not your game's an NFT project. So while like I do feel like I kind of messed up by not finding this, I do also feel like no one else did. Nobody else mentioned this in my comments. The only person who mentioned anything was someone who was looking into the game because they felt it was a little bit suspicious based on it being free, which is something that I missed. And then they did further research, found some articles in Portuguese, etc. Like that shouldn't be what you have to do to find out if a game is an NFT game. If it's an NFT game, it shouldn't be on Steam, in my opinion. That's just how I feel. Like, I don't like this loophole that a lot of developers are going through by having 2 versions of the game that still presumably communicate with each other just to get them on Steam. Like, if your game's an NFT game, go put it on Epic Game Store or whatever. Like, don't make it harder for people who don't want to, play into these kind of games by doing stuff like that. That's just my opinion. Let me know yours. I've talked about this at length already, about how NFT communities are usually just full of investors, not gamers, how NFT games tend to lose all their funding a lot, even more than just regular like games we see on Kickstarter and stuff like that. I'm not into it. As a gamer and as a content creator, I have no interest in NFTs. So yeah, I most likely will not be covering this game any further unless like there's some sort of like shift to non NFTs. Because at first, when I saw the person who sent me the articles, I thought, okay, maybe they were an NFT game and they're not. So I was giving them the benefit of the doubt because I don't want to just like go after somebody for no reason. And this isn't to go after them. Again, this is just a transparency thing. And I guess you could say, calling out what I consider a lack of transparency. But this is more so for me to be transparent with you guys and give you guys my reasoning for not seeing this. But I do feel like this whole situation could have been avoided if it was just, up in the front. A lot of developers, they want NFTs, but they don't want to deal with the consequences of NFTs, which is honestly something that really affected Untamed and Chain Monsters. And I don't know, we'll see. But I'll try to do better from here on out. I guess I'm just gonna have to never sleep, just because I have to research 10,000 things just to make sure games aren't NFT games. But anyways, guys, yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is just annoying. I really thought this game looked cool, but it is what it is. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.